the secrets he might hold, but our curiosity was put on pause when he reached his destination. Kevin slowly melted into Loot Lake, turning the water into a strange purple substance, and it wouldn't be long before he emerged again. With the entire community in shock, it was time to return to the island, but things were not as we had left them. And while Kevin's journey seemed to be over, a new story was only just beginning. Gone were the days of mysterious runes and floating islands, as Season 7 introduced us to a new villain, the Ice King, and he was ready to unleash his power upon the world. Suspended in midair, he began to cast a wall of ice and snow across the entire island, and as the clouds settled, we were given our very first snowy map. For the very first time in Fortnite history, we were treated to 2 live events in 1 season. But I think it's fair to say that the second is definitely not something we were expecting. As the lights turned on and the stage was set, Marshmello began his concert in Pleasant Park for 1 night only. This event was a monumental part of Fortnite's history, and while it seemed pretty unbelievable at the time, Epic was set on making each live event even more breathtaking than the last. So when it came to the unvaulting, we no longer had to watch from the sidelines. We could decide the outcome for ourselves. As the door slowly opened, we started to realize we were going inside the vault. We always knew that weapons got vaulted, but we had no idea they meant it literally. Luckily, this was the first time players could interact with a live event, and we all voted to bring back the drum gun. The volcano began erupting, and POIs like Retail, Polar Peak, and Tilted were all affected. And while this insane event had tons of twists, it also had a secret that foreshadowed a huge battle right around the corner. On one side of the map, this horrifying eyeball sent chills down our spine. We knew that whatever kind of monster lurked in the iceberg, it was about to break free. The island needed protecting, and Singularity rose to the challenge. With the mecha team leader built and the monster about to ravage the island, the final showdown began. There wasn't much time left to conquer the beast. The mech needed a recharge, so it grabbed the exposed 0 point and used its power to become stronger than ever. But there was one final plot twist waiting to be revealed. The statue at Neo Tilted that had been there all season was hiding a crucial secret. The aftermath of this incredible fight would be felt across the entire island, but nobody knew just how bad the damage really was. The 0 point was destabilizing fast, mixing up time and space. And after 10 seasons of buildup, we were finally about to be introduced to the 7, and their plan would mean the end of Fortnite as we knew it. These rockets created rifts all across the sky, but all of our attention shifted to a meteor that was quickly approaching the island. And with the meteor crashing into the 0 point, everything went dark. And we were introduced to the Black Hole, the single most iconic event in Fortnite history. And it felt like Epic could never top it. But as we came into Chapter 2, we were kept occupied by a Star Wars event and a surprise experience by Travis Scott. Astronomical took the Marshmallow concert and blew it out of the water with insane effects and callbacks to Chapter 1. And while we thought Astronomical was the highlight of the season, we had no time to react to it. A doomsday device was secretly being constructed, and at the time we had no idea just how important it would turn out to be. Once the storm was pushed back, we were introduced to a brand new location and could walk around in first person. And once we returned from the office, we learned that the storm has turned into a giant wall of water. And before we get a chance to admire this huge ocean, we're brought back to the bridge one final time and introduced to Agent Jones.
Good. Everything is, starting to stabilize here. Nothing seems to be... What the... Are you even... Wait. Can you hear me? Hear me?
Despite this event flooding the entire island, it was later in the year that we would have a much more important problem to deal with. Something that would threaten the very existence of reality. Galactus. The Devourer of Worlds was here for one thing, the 0 point, and he would stop at nothing to get his hands on it.
Someone who needs a jetpack. There you go. We gotta stop Galactus from eating the 0 point. You are free, right? By my calculations, if Galactus keeps absorbing the 0 point at that rate, we'll all be looking at a full reality collapse in... Doesn't matter. You know, the point is, we gotta move. You can drive a battle bus, right?
Luckily, Tony Stark transports us inside the 0 point, and we get to use a weaponized battle bus. Galactus eventually inhales this, and it sends him through a rift.
You did it! Thank you, bus driver.
Despite our victory, Galactus left the 0 point exposed, completely destabilizing it and bringing it to the brink of total destruction. Eventually, Agent Jones had to take things into his own hands.
Look, I know you have no reason to trust me, but... Oh, no. Hang on! Let's talk! Jeno! I can get you to Jeno.
And the sisters?
I can get you all of them. But I need your help to fix that.
As the 0 point begins to bloom, reality waves bring brand new characters and their worlds to the island. Destabilizing further, the Foundation is unable to control it and decides to contain the blast, forming the Spire. Jones seals it off with the device and is now trapped inside the loop. And while this was considered the finale of the Zero Crisis, there was a brand new story beginning, one that would overtake everything we'd seen before. The most powerful and evil villain yet had come to the island, the Cube Queen. She started by scanning our memories inside of the Rift Tour, the concert headlined by Ariana Grande, and it served as a pretty good distraction from the evasion, not to mention it was awesome to see how far Fortnite live events had come. But with the mothership looming over the island for the whole season, it wasn't long before Sloan decided she had enough of the last reality. Operation Skyfire was underway. After breaking out of our cells, we make our way to the central chamber. The last reality calls for backup and a purple cube appears, blowing our minds. But we don't have any time to admire it because Sloan gives us some really bad news.
Brace yourself! Arming sequence is good.
done. You played your part. Now I have to play mine. We are fighting a war in which we are hopelessly outgunned. I won't bring you home. Over and out.
After rebooting the cube and with minutes left till detonation, we are given one final reveal. With the mothership's destruction, thousands of cubes are now plummeting straight towards the island. As the smoke cleared, the Dark Army wasn't waiting around. The Cube Queen began to awaken the others, forming the Convergence. It became instantly clear that she was the most powerful villain we had ever encountered, and everything was at stake as we approached the grand finale of Chapter 2.
The last reality is at hand!
The Queen's portal opened, revealing the true power of the last reality. Thousands of motherships and a cube's cradle in the center. Their army becomes way too much to handle, and we lose our friendly blue cube. Meanwhile, inside of the bridge, the Foundation begins his plan.
Wake him up. You just had to be the hero, Jones. You know what happens to heroes?
They, live to fight another day?
Not this time. Would someone see what that is? Impossible. I watched you die.
I got over it.
And this happens just in time for the Seven to come to our rescue, taking loopers to the bridge.
Good. You made it. And you brought the loopers.
The surface is lost, but we should be safe here.
Warning. Rotation at 60 degrees.
You call this safe?
It'll hold. It's rated for 1,000 times atmospheric pressure.
Well, what about that?
Get ready to swim.
We're blasted into the ocean and emerge to witness the entire island flip. A giant tidal wave knocks us out and we're left adrift. And it's not long before we're washed back up to shore.
I suppose I owe you an explanation. We've all been through a lot the last few years, and there's much more you don't even remember. You've all fought the good fight. But until we set the 0 point free, we'll be facing threats like the last reality. And worse. There will be no escaping it. That's why I need your help to destroy the imagined order. As long as they're exploiting the 0 point, everything is in danger. With your help, we can free ourselves from this place and leave the loop for good. We can all go home.
The situation quickly became clear. The Imagine Order were about to begin their counterattack, and we had to be ready. With tremors being felt each day, we knew the IO were drilling onto the island, but it was clear something even bigger was coming. And that suspicion was confirmed when the Zero War began. For months, the Seven and the Order have officially been at war, fighting over territories and building huge bases. For years, Fortnite's live events have shocked us, from collabs to concerts, but every single one of them has had one thing in common. They were all leading up to this. Now we're just days away from the climax of the Zero War. While the Imagine Order's Doomsday device powers up, the Seven are rebuilding the mecha team leader on the moon. We're gonna have to suit up and pilot the mech ourselves as we fight to save the island from total annihilation. It's gonna be unlike anything we've ever seen before.